Welcome back to another video. It is Sunday evening, it's 6:30. Very long work day today, but all is good. Got lots of people competing in the next few weeks. I had lots of comp blocks to write up today, which obviously I love, super exciting. And it's just been a really good day overall. I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm 1 week post British bench, have got some news to do with that in a second. But today is my first primary SBD back, currently just running through a really light 3-week block. And then we've got 2 blocks, another 3-week block and a 4-week block into the English, which is my first full power comp of the year. And fingers crossed, a bit of redemption for the terrible meets that I've had lately. The last 4 have been like pretty terrible by my standards. So very much looking forward to hopefully putting things together on the platform next time around. In terms of the plan for today, so I'm working on set loads for squats and deadlifts at the moment, just to take my mind off things and to kind of help me relax a little bit more. My coach is just kind of taking control on that. So on squats today, I've got a top triple at 150, followed by a single at 160, a set of 5 at an RPE 5, which I've roughly planned to do about 145 for that. And then it'll be a set percentage back off drop for one set of 5, which is, if I do 145, will be about 130 for a set of 5. So that should not take long, and I should be able to just kind of rush through that. And then I've got a top single on bench, an RP of 6. So bench is pretty sub-max this block. Everything is sub-max this block, to be honest. The single on bench, RP 6, I'm thinking like 105-ish, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe 107. And then I've got a back off set of 4 and RP of 6, which will probably be around 97.5-ish, obviously providing I feel decent. And then I've got 2x4 at 90, so very short bench session as well. Into sumo, which is ascending sets, which I'm not mad at. I like having my top single. I'm going to miss my top single this block, but ascending sets, obviously I can get through pretty quickly, and I do need a little bit of a block to just kind of decompress, which is kind of the goal of this block right now. And these are all set loads as well. So I've got a set of 4 at 120, a set of 4 at 130, a set of 3 at 140, and then a double at 145. So that should all be very sub-max, very quick and easy to get through. Just going to keep drilling in the work and the cues that my coach and I are focusing on. Then just got a few accessories to do after, which are pretty much all just focusing on rehab movements for my hamstring issue that is actually 1 week after I started my rehab and everything. So Monday was my first session of rehab with the physio that I decided to work with. And we just did a one-off session to start with, and he's prescribed me some movements to help with my issue, and actually things do seem to be improving. The issue's obviously still there. It's not going to fix itself overnight. He thinks it probably is a tendon issue. And to be honest, I'm probably going to have a week off of squatting and deadlifting after the English anyway, but I will obviously see nearer the time depending on how it's feeling. And I know I'm not going to want a week off. Like, it's going to take all of my willpower to have a week off. So I don't think I've had a week off in ever, literally. But I think it would probably be good for my tendon issue. But the movements and stuff that he's been giving me have definitely been helping, because yesterday I actually managed to go on a long dog walk for the first time in weeks. Normally I do like 1 longer dog walk a day. But the last 3 weeks, I would say, I've had to just tap out of those, and my boyfriend's been doing those, and I've been doing like 2 shorter walks, sometimes 3 shorter walks of like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 40 at a push, and anything more than that, my hamstrings have been flaring up really badly. But yesterday I did about 1 hour and 40 minutes, and it felt, well, it was definitely a little bit irritated afterwards, but it didn't feel bad, and it feels fine today. So fingers crossed we're onto a winner. And also today I have been sat at my desk. Like, I've not done a walk today. I've literally been sat at my desk near enough all day, outside of just like throwing in some meal prep and stuff into the oven and stuff. I've pretty much been at my desk non-stop today. So my steps, I don't even know if I want to look at my watch right now. Bearing in mind it's 6:30 in the evening, my steps are not even at 2,000. That's how little I've moved today. But having said that, it doesn't feel bad considering I've been sat all day, and usually sitting all day does make it a bit worse. So that is also kind of promising. In terms of nutrition hasn't been good this week. It's 1 week post-comp, but it has been better than it usually is post-comp, to be fair. Had a little bit of a check-in with my nutrition coach midweek, and I basically said to her, what I'm kind of doing this week is just trying to eat a bit more freely, but try and rein myself in. So I've been mostly tracking 2,000 to 2,500 calories. However, after I said that to her, from the next day, which I think it was Thursday, which to be fair, Monday I was definitely over, went out for a really nice meal, had like leftovers from takeaway and stuff for lunch. And just like all of my food that day was definitely very calorie dense, very very sodium dense as well. So body weight was like 87.2 on Wednesday, but that was still with a lot of retention. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I tried to stick within that 2,000 to 2,500 calorie range, and I did. And then Friday, I think I ended up over 4,000 calories. Yesterday, I ended up over 3,000 calories. And this morning, to be fair, I was still in the 86s. I was 86.9 this morning. So actually, considering that's with a lot of retention still, like I can feel it in myself, My body weight's actually still in a really good spot. So my nutrition check-in officially is tomorrow, and you know, first proper check-in post-comp. So hoping tomorrow I can just start getting back in routine. I am going out for dinner tomorrow with a friend for her birthday, but that's not a problem. I can just track what we're having and it should be pretty easy to fit in. I think we're just gonna have a Nando's, so shouldn't be too difficult to make that fit, or at least be near enough fit. And loads of meal prep and stuff's been done today, and I'm gonna do some more tomorrow as well. So nutrition will be back kind of fairly strict from tomorrow. I say strict loosely because like I've got my partner's mum's meal is on birthday meal is on Thursday. Can't get my words out. So Thursday night I won't be obviously tracking that. But my point kind of is, you know, body weight is still within acute cutting range, even with a week of eating, get near enough what I want. Obviously I don't want to stay this heavy. Like I would like my body weight to settle around 85.5 to 86 maximum in this lead up to the Tall Englands. And that's what I said to my coach in my check-in form today. And I have no doubt that she'll agree that's kind of a good plan. So we're just going to work on getting back to that as of tomorrow. And in the next video, I'll obviously talk you guys through any nutritional changes and stuff. But it should be a pretty chilled few weeks in terms of nutrition into comp. I think it's like 8 weeks from today, 9 weeks from today, maybe 9. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Have got some more news. If you've watched my comp recap from British Bench, you know that I specifically said I am not a bench only athlete. I am not interested in doing bench only. It's not for me. Didn't really enjoy it. Headspace wasn't in it. Partly I said that because of the fact that obviously I had a terrible competition anyway, but also even before the day started, I just wasn't fully in it. However, my coach convinced me to just put my name down as interested. There's like an expression of interest form for people that did British Bench that podiumed. You can just put your name forwards just in case they want to select you for the team or as a reserve. So I put my name down and I was like, they're not going to pick me anyway, because they also normally when it comes to international teams with Team GB, it's not just about the numbers you put up, it's also about your attempts and your hit rate. And I hit 1 for 3 and had terrible execution. Not that they probably even really looked at that, but yeah, so I got an email today. I did put my name forward for British Bench, for like Team GB Bench to compete at Worlds or Euros or Euros. And I have been formally invited to compete at Worlds for GB. So not only am I doing the English at the start of May, I will most likely also be doing World Bench Championships at the end of May. I haven't 100% made my mind up yet. I am going to just think on it for a couple of days, but obviously I need to make my mind up fairly soon. I think we have like a week to say yes formally, but the sooner you let them know, the sooner they can put a reserve in your spot if you decide not to do it. And obviously I don't want anyone to be like disadvantaged if I do decide not to do it and I take my time deciding that. I probably will. I need to work out the logistics in terms of like with my boyfriend works, he's not at home during the work days, it's a weekday thing, so I'll have to make sure that my mum can come around and check on the dog and stuff. And like logistically, financially, like that sort of thing, although it is only in, I want to say Poland, so looks like travel and stuff and hotels aren't crazy expensive either. Like the official hotel, I looked at the prices, it's not crazy. I haven't worked it all out properly, but let's just say I'm probably going to be doing it, which means I'll be competing like 2.5 weeks after All England's. My coach also seems pretty excited at the prospect of me doing it, and I feel like he's done this comp before, and if he thinks it's worth doing, it's probably worth doing. So yeah, I might have another comp in the diary, but we will see. I'll obviously confirm for definite with you guys when I've decided myself. And because by the time this video is out, I will have decided. So if I've cut this entire segment, I'm probably not doing it. But yeah, so that's the other news. Maybe I will be a bench only athlete, just one more showing, and then get a bit of redemption. And I feel like I'd rather have a good day at Worlds than I would at the British. So maybe I can get that redemption.
Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see 한여름에도 난 겨울 Yeah, girl you cold blood Yeah, 너와 있을 때 I swear 제가 먼저 zero 폭설한 그 chill day 꿈에도 I wasn't aware 나만 빼고 넌 모두에게 참 친절해 배신감이 들어 단판이 태도 머릿속을 흔들 네 ibuprofen 그만해 it's time to stop 승부욕을 자극하는 style yeah. 알면서도 마음이 자꾸 내게 가 안만 빠져버릴까 If you want me back I'll tell you I'm sorry If you want me back I'll tell you stop trying Yeah, yeah, you got me Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see 한여름에도 넌 겨울 Yeah, girl you're cold-blooded Yeah, girl you're cold-blooded
Okay, so camera does not have a lot of battery left, but I want to just say squats felt incredible tonight. Hamstring issue, I only noticed on I think 1 or 2 reps of my set at 145, very minor, and same thing on my set of 5 at 130 that I did after that I didn't film. And the only time I felt it was when I just bottomed into the hole a little bit too aggressively, went a little bit too deep, and essentially just stretched a little bit too much. But it felt good, the best it has in a long time. And obviously all of these loads were really light for me, but this is the best I've felt on a week 1 in a long time. Even with my nutrition obviously not being 100% on point this week. It hasn't been terrible, don't get me wrong, like the last few days I have gone way over like the calories I should have been on technically, but obviously it's first week post-comp, so it doesn't really matter. But no, I'm really, really happy how squats moved. One thing I am struggling with is this singlet. So I love this singlet. I bought this, I actually watched Sheffield and I saw Albert and Emil Norling competing in it and I was like, I love that colour. I didn't like it when it was first released, and obviously I've seen a lot of people compete in it before, but something about it, I was like, I want the green singlet. So I wore it for British Bench last week, but I got a medium, and I should have got a large. I really struggle with SBD singlets. They're by far my favourite. Like I prefer them way over the A7 ones, even though a lot of my kit is obviously A7, and I really like A7 as a brand. In terms of the actual singlets, I find the SBD ones just fit me nicer, and they're a lot, like I prefer the material. They're not as clingy to my skin, but they feel supportive enough. But my red and black one that I usually wear for competition is a large, and it's just got a little bit too much loose fabric, and it annoys me, especially around the hips area, because I've just not really got hips. I'm built like a boy. Probably should try the men's one, to be fair. But then my upper body is like, I'm all upper body basically, and so I find it really hard to find ones that fit. So I started wearing a medium in my like black and white one that I've got, and I was like, oh yeah, this definitely fits better. But I think they've since like changed, like every colorway obviously comes out slightly different because every color fabric is slightly different. But people have been saying to me the last few releases have been like smaller, so you need to size up, or like at least get the usual size, if not size up. But when I got my Commonwealth one, 2 years ago now, I got a large, and it's just way too big for me, that it annoys me. So I was like, I'm gonna get a medium in this green singlet, it'll be fine. And I figured when I bought it, I was like 87, 88 kilos still. So I was like, oh, by the time I get down to like 85, it'll be fine, like whatever, no problems. But it is definitely too small, and I can't send it back now. And I don't want to buy another one because that's too much money spent on powerlifting kit. So I just want to suffer out loud, but really liking the green singlet. Wearing it today because this is what I wore for British Bench, and I want to see if my bum stays down on my bench today. Obviously I'm not going as heavy today, so it should be fine. But I am going to consistently train in a singlet 1 day a week going forwards, just that I can definitely see for sure how obviously my butt lift and stuff is from the side. And then post comp, I'll probably go like obviously my normal shorts and stuff over the summer, just because I don't really want to be training in the heat of summer in a singlet because it's just a little bit too clingy. But I am refusing to let, if I do bench worlds, my butt is not lifting. Like I refuse to fail on technicalities again. If I fail on anything, it's going to be on strength, which is not going to happen either. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, squats I'm really happy with is all I want to say. I will film my heaviest sets of bench and my heaviest set of deadlifts, but I haven't got loads of battery left on my camera because I've been really disorganised. So yeah, let's just crack on.
I'm like frozen 뭐야 모두 stress은 gotta let it go 했어 소개팅 dating 어플 다 깔아 또 보았어 반대가 끌린대 opposites attract Don't know about me and you, yeah we fell into the cracks Yeah 깎고 너네 no cap 왜 난 안 보여 what's happening 객관적일 수가 없이 이미 game white black and waving fast Yeah I'm leaving back but 말해도 너만 보면 나도 내 맘 I don't know 이건 love a relationship 헷갈리기만 해 girl I'll tell you I'm sorry if you want me back I'll tell you stop trying Yeah, yeah, you got me Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa
Okay, so session complete. I've also done my rehab as well, so glad I've got that done. It is one of those things, I'm really bad for just as soon as I finish my last movement, like I just want to get in, but I need to make sure I'm religiously doing this rehab stuff. Because I have noticed an improvement, it is 8:15, so I need to get in. I'm gonna take the dog for a walk, and then just gonna come home, have some food. Not really overly hungry, like my appetite's been pretty low, not surprising the amount of food I've been eating this week. But yeah, I need to get in, go for a bit of a walk just to get my steps above 2,000, because that is embarrassingly low. And to be fair, I've been pacing around a lot when I'm, like I probably do 2,000-3,000 steps while I'm in here because I'm just pacing around between every set. But yeah, I want to get in and take him for another walk. So he did have a long walk midday today, but I feel like I'm trying to get in a routine of taking him out once more, like kind of before we get ready to go to bed and stuff, just because it's nice to get some fresh air before I go to bed. And obviously it's good for him too. So gonna go do that. And then yeah, have something to eat, probably just a protein shake and like an apple, just because I can't be bothered to cook. And I also need to dish up some of the meal prep I've made. To be fair, I could have some of that, but I don't really fancy a meal. Anyway, that's not relevant. Session complete, really happy, everything felt good. Obviously everything's super light this week, but I definitely mentally needed that. I am excited for when we get to ramp stuff up again now, which I've not felt properly for a while. So feeling good. Had my feet slightly further back on bench tonight, which I trialed on Friday to try and keep my butt lift minimal / non-existent. And it felt really solid, it felt really strong. I actually felt more stable in my positioning. So it is what I used to do. When I started with my coach, he did try and get me to have my feet further forwards. But I think for me, I am better with my feet a little bit further back. So I'll probably just revert back to that, which obviously isn't a problem. And he said basically as long as I still feel strong, he's happy with that. So gonna probably keep doing that. But yeah, everything felt good. Everything felt as it was supposed to. No complaints from me. Yeah, I noticed my hamstring issue slightly more on deadlifts, but again, it's not gonna be perfect straight away. It's gonna take time. So yeah, anyway, gonna wrap the video up here. Thank you very much if you made it to the end. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in a few days for the next one.
I see, 한 여름에 더 나겨